Tim, can you go ahead and tell us how you first of all came to Mr. Hand after all these years?
It was a follow-up on a lead. There was a lead that we received, that we work like we do in all cold cases. We get a lead, you follow up on it. And this was the follow-up on the state police who went to go talk to Hand after they got that information.
Had they ever talked to him before this?
Well, certainly not as a suspect. I mean, you look at some of the old reports, there may be some information there, but for the most part, this is the first time he's ever been deemed to be a suspect.
Tim, can you talk about this confession or the statement that he gave where he blamed everything on Henry Meinholz, but it still placed himself at the scene where Tracy was found?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't want to try the case out here, but obviously his statement puts him at the scene, puts his hands on a rock, and allegedly bleeding on a rock, of which he subsequently states that he picked up and dropped on the head of Miss Gilpin. You know, so to me, obviously, we're going to continue to do some more work on this case, and I'm appreciative. I know the family's appreciative of all the work that the Massachusetts State Police have done, that the Troutman Police and the Mooresville Police in North Carolina were very helpful to the investigation. And I know that this case has been worked on, like all of our cold cases that I've worked on, by numerous assistant DAs, advocates, troopers, police. You know, I applaud the efforts of the Plymouth Police and the Kingston Police. Tracy was taken in Kingston. Her body was found in Plymouth, Massachusetts. And I think that, you know, they did a great job in putting this together. And I'm very glad that, you know, the family now knows who the killer is, and we're going to proceed in the legal system, making sure that we do everything we can to get justice for Tracy Gilpin.
Has the DNA connected yet? Has that come back?
DNA is still being investigated.
So
right
how
now.
confident are you that this is the right guy? This is, after all these years, this is finally justice for Tracy?
I don't arrest people for homicide unless I'm sure that the people did it. And I think based upon the totality of the circumstances that we have right now, we have the individual who was involved in the homicide of Tracy Gilpin.
Can you talk about how they knew each other?
That came in. What kind of, did somebody call, or what was the lead?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to get into specifics of the lead itself, but like I said, we receive leads all the time and help, and that's why I do applaud the efforts of the media for putting these stories out there. I applaud, you know, Fox 25. I was on that, as well as the Gilpin family was over the years, talking about this, making sure we can publicize these cases so people understand, the victims understand that these cases are not forgotten, the victims are not forgotten, and that the killers are out there that haven't had their day in court yet. So that we're going to continue to look at these cases. And, you know, I'm hopeful that we're going to continue to be able to solve all of our cold cases. All my colleagues across the state are with these cases. These are difficult cases. This case occurred 31 plus years ago. But I think what it goes to show you is that getting the word out there, I mean, people understand what you're looking for. I just think that, you know, hope and perseverance is an incredibly powerful combination. And the hope of the Gilpin family, I think, has been incredible over the years, the work that they've done to keep this in the public eye. And I think it really came up with merits today.
Can you talk about how they knew each other?
No, I'm not going into their exact relationship.
Tim, can you tell us when Colonel Gilpin found out about this, when you made an arrest, when you decided that there was a possible witness in North Carolina, if she was involved in going to North Carolina at any point?
I'll just say we notified the colonel over the weekend. She was not involved in the investigation, per se. It was troopers assigned to my office. And we want to, like we do in every case, we want to make sure we're on solid ground before we tell family members. We never want to be in a position to give false hope. And we treated, she may be the colonel of the state police, but she's also a sister of Tracy Gilpin. And it was important for us to treat her like a victim in this case rather than the colonel of the state police.
Did you call her yourself or deliver the news to her?
I called her, I spoke to her over the weekend, and I know that she's obviously very thankful for all the hard work of all the investigators over the years, because most of the investigators that started in this case are no longer working, as whatever the role may have been. And I think it just goes to show that, like I said, perseverance is great, and I love getting the word out on these cases so that maybe we can solve some more, because there's other family members out there on other cases, and their cases haven't been solved yet, and they need to understand that we haven't forgotten them either, and that we're going to continue to work those cases until we come to a successful resolution.
Is Michael Hand being looked at for other crimes and other homicides that have taken place in the area?
I think it's fair to say we're conducting more thorough investigation regarding Hand at this point, but I'm not really at liberty to say what those are yet.
Does he have a criminal record?
I'm not aware, if it wasn't mentioned in court, I'm not going to be in a position to say it, but I'm not aware of him having anything extensive.
When did he move to North Carolina?
My understanding was it was about 10, 12 years back.
And Tim, how satisfying is it to be here at this point, 31 years, right, after this homicide?
You know, when this homicide occurred, I was a young assistant DA in Plymouth District Court. This happened in my jurisdiction in 1986. And obviously we knew about the case then, and I think a lot of these cases just stick in your mind over the years. And so it certainly is satisfying to know that we are here where we are today. we continue on that road where there are challenges. We always face challenges. And that's something we deal with every case. That's something we deal with all the situations that we're going to be dealing with. And I'm hopeful that as we continue on down this road, we can remember the real purpose of this today is getting justice for 15-year-old Tracy Gilpin, whose life was taken way too soon. And as you can see by the turnout of her family today, they haven't forgotten Tracy, and I want to make sure that nobody else did either.
You know if he was the one in the Jeep that she was talking to that night? That she disappeared? She was seeing the clerk saw her.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that stuff.
Tim, who was here from the Gilpin family? Obviously, we saw the colonel and her mom. Anyone else that you can discuss?
She had other relatives that were here with her, and also friends that were here, because obviously this is something, as you know, as over the years there have been Facebook pages, rewards, they've been on national programs, they've been on local TV. They've worked this hard, and I think that we should applaud their efforts. And I think they did a great job for the memory of Tracy, and I'm hopeful that we're going to be in a position to get them what they really deserve, and that's our conviction against hand when all's said and done.
Will someone be getting this $25,000 award?
I'm not familiar with that. That was issued by the family. I'm not sure what the parameters are of that award.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Frank.
Great, thank you.